Hello friends, and welcome again to another AFK journey video. In this video we'll be showcasing the boss King Croaker in endless mode and how to get the best damages and what teams you can use actually to maximize the damage that you have and how would you go about it. And there will be a little bit of discussion and I will explain to you and I will show you the effect and how it will change your scores and make it even better or worse depending on the lineup that you use, and one unit will determine the outcome of your team and with his debuffs, and it's Croaker. Croaker is so important for physical damage. Now magical damage is really good, the output of OD is insane, but if you're using Croaker, all the physical damage will be amplified more and more, and you'll see that they will deal more damage than your OD, which as OD is as insane unit to build up and to have on this lineup, but you can play without him if you build other units, and we'll be talking about that. Oh, what is this? Oh, it's a kitty. Okay, so first of all, let's go and check the damages and the teams. I tried so many synergies, so many teams. Right now, we're at that top 101. Depending on our crits and crit rate and how we use and utilize our units, this will change in the fight. So let's go and check out what I did use right now to get the maximum damage of my lineup. We're gonna change some things. I'm gonna talk about them. Now, Croaker will put the stacks on the boss. First of all, we have Thorin. Thorin will get 2 lives. Now, if you have him at Mythic Plus and he have the life link and he will get the extra life, that would be insane, and he will buff also the damages and you will get buffed to your unit that is behind him. Then your damage output would be more and more. Now we have 3 Maulers and 2 Graveborns, which is insane actually to get us the buffs of 14 attack and 14 HP. Now, if you have different units, let's say you built Merrily, what would you do here if you built Merrily to Mythic Plus? I would remove OD. Yes, OD. OD will not deal as much damage as possible when you have Croaker on your lineup, because he will deal magical damage most of the time, probably 95% of the time. And what you want is to capitalize on the physical damage. So removing OD will give you the most numbers because of Croaker. And here, if we check this setup with this lineup with Croaker, Cecilia is the most damage dealer with the Mythic Plus because of the defense penetration plus the defense shred that Croaker gives. And you'll be like, but OD is supreme as well, just like Cecilia. Cecilia and OD are supreme, yet she's doing more damage than him with having Croaker on the lineup. Now, removing Croaker, OD will deal more damage than Cecilia. This is why the damage numbers will not calculate even more and more. I'll be proving that and showing you how it goes. Now, you can play something else different. If you have Merrily on your lineup, if you want to play Croaker, just remove OD. Now, for people who are still not on that high level, maybe now they got to endless mode or they are still on elite or on hell mode and they're dying and your team is not helping enough, you can remove Croaker and play Coco. Coco will give you the buff for sustainability and you will stay alive a little bit. Just put Coco instead of Croaker in this position, because the boss will kill your Thorin twice first, then will kill your Croaker or your Coco next if she's here. If your Smokey is here, he will target Smokey, and Smokey is the next one to die, and you don't want that because you want the sustainability. If sustainability is the thing for you, now you can of course play the Starshot spell for her if you want and put her somewhere like here, and she will go to the front, and then she will get the buffs faster. But if you're at like me, if your levels are okay and you're up there and you can fight and you can sustain, playing Croaker will be insane. Now, how could we play without Croaker and have a better lineup? Well, in the end, you'll be playing Smokey, Croaker, you play Thorin, or play anything else for burst damage, but you'll play Thorin and you remove Cecilia and OD and play Corin and Merrily at Mythic Plus if you have them at Mythic Plus, because Croaker will amplify their damages, the physical damages, plus they will do true damage, and this will help you a lot. Now let's go and check this lineup how it does, and I will show you different things. So I don't have a Mythic Plus Merrily, but I have a Supreme Vala. Or I don't have a Mythic Plus or Supreme Merrily, I have a Vala. So Vala can replace OD here, but the damages of OD are still great and insane. Now if OD is at Supreme Plus, not Supreme, but Supreme Plus, I have him Supreme here, but if he's at Supreme Plus, his damages will be amplified by 1.5 because of the talent that we took from Supreme Plus. So he will be even better, even with having Croaker and Cecilia will not outshine him with the damages anymore. So let's go and check that. Now, if you're free to play like me or low spenders and you did build your Supreme Cecilia, your Supreme Odie, and your Supreme Smokey, this is the best lineup. Probably if you have been lucky and you got a Thorin to Supreme Plus, or you got to Mythic Plus with Croaker, your damages will ramp up more and more. Of course, use a Star Shard spell. It will amplify your ultimates and deal damage more to the boss. Let's go and check the first lineup. So here we go. We have Thorin tanking, so he will die twice before our Croaker. Croaker will not die. He's at low Ascension for me. But because we're at that level, we're at this stage of the game, he will sustain and he will lifesteal with his ultimate or with his skills, and we will heal him by our Smokey. So Thorin lost his first life right now, and Cecilia is dealing most of the damage right now. Of course, Odie is helping as Supreme as well, but we will see by the end that Cecilia outshine him just because the simple fact that we have Croaker on the team and he put all the buffs on the boss. If you look at the boss, he have the 4 shred. It means he got the defense penetration from our Croaker. Now Croaker will die next. The boss will take his life, and in the end we'll stay with the 3 units, Smokey, Odie, and Cecilia, and we'll deal the maximum damage that we can. And pretty much 33 million is absolutely amazing. It's not bad. Depending on your crit rate and crit damage, you're gonna get to the 33.5, 33.4, something like that, and it will put you in a higher ranking. Right now we're at 32 million. Hopefully we're gonna get the, yeah, 33. This is the basic lineup. This is the whole damage that I'm doing right now with this setup. It's getting me the best results. And as we see, if we're gonna go and check the damages, Cecilia is dealing more damage than Odie. It's weird. Yeah, I know it's weird. But it's not that weird enough because Smokey, of course, he's dealing stable damage. He's a core in this lineup, especially for free to play if you have him. Now, if you don't have him, you're gonna a little bit have a problem with survivability. Maybe playing Coco, maybe playing Rainier with linking up him with somebody else so you can survive a little bit. Now, as we see, Thorin did a little bit of damage, Croaker did a little bit of damage, but these damages adds a little bit. So of course 1 million, that's 2 million from them. And Odie did 8.5 million, where Cecilia did 11.5 million. Now, Cecilia and Odie both have its Supreme. Odie is a boss machine. How come that Cecilia did that much of damage? It's only because of the defense physical penetration that she's doing. She have defense penetration plus or physical penetration plus Croaker is on the lineup, so our physical damage is more than our magical damage. This is why Odie didn't shine that much in this fight. Now, many told me if we drop Merrily, would she do better than Odie? She would be doing 100% better than Odie. If you have Odie at Supreme, Cecilia at Supreme, and you have Merrily at Supreme, what would you do here? Who would you remove? Maybe remove Croaker, but Cecilia will deal less damage, so it's better to remove Cecilia. No, it's better to remove Odie because Merrily and Cecilia will deal even more damage having Croaker on the team. Okay, Cecilia will do more damage than Odie having Croaker on the team. Keep that in mind. Now, if you have a magic buffer, having Odie on the team is better than Merrily and better than Cecilia. It depending. I had many questions asking me, we see this on Pridewin, big shout out to them. If you want to go and check them, I'll keep the link in the description. They have a lot of table for whales, late game, early game. How do you go and defeat these bosses? But the thing is, with this boss, that it depends on the buffs that you get from your units. Every boss, there's no stable lineup, or there's no, if I show you 100 lineups, you can play around them with the buffs that you get. If there's a magic buffer user on this lineup, Odie will be the most insane unit that deals damage here. But because we don't have that right now, and I'll try to do that, I think one of the big magic buffers is gonna be, what's his name? Aaron. Aaron will buff the damages so much. So we're gonna go and test that as well and check, does that add a little bit more? And Parisa is a magic damage user, so we can play her instead of Cecilia. But for physical damage, I would remove Odie and I would play Merrily instead. I know we will lose on our buffs, but it's still gonna get the highest results and highest damages. Here we go. You can play her on this spot. Now, of course, you can remove also Cecilia and play somebody like Corin. Corin will benefit more. You will benefit more with having Corin than Cecilia. here in the lineup. This is the lineup. If you have them at Mythic Plus, this will be absolutely awesome for your lineup. Let's go and check Vala. Vala, because she's the second, she's the closest to our Marilee. She doesn't go to sword form. That's the problem. If she goes to sword form, nobody will play. If you can manual it and let her go to sword form, nobody will play Marilee because Vala does insane damage when she goes to sword form. Let's check this. Does she do better than Odie? I didn't test it so far, so let's check if she does incredibly well, because Odie was magical and now she's dealing more physical damage and capitalizing on the Croaker debuffs. So here we go. And if you don't have a Mythic Plus Smokey, I mean, your damages will be a little bit lower. He absolutely helps as well. He's absolutely insane with his damage. As you see the blue smoke, when he does it, he will deal damage as 14% of the max HP of the boss, and it's endless mode, so the boss HP is so high that this damage is absolutely insane, and it's ramp up a lot. So here we go. We're not playing Mauler's Synergy, we're not playing our Odie for this round, which is Odie is an absolute buffer, absolute damage dealer for bossing. We're playing now Vala here instead because of the physical shred. We check, does she do better? I don't think she ramps up the damages, the multiplier is not that high, but I think Marilee will do that because of the true damage that she does, and she's physical, so she capitalizes even more and more. We will not hit the 30 million, will we? We have 6 seconds left, barely 9 million, 29 million. No, we didn't even reach. So Odie here does the most damage. Now Marilee, of course, will. Plus, don't forget the buffs arts and the synergies of the team comp is really good. So 7.9. Okay, now our Cecilia didn't deal the most damage here. 7.9 from Vala. I think Vala did more than Odie than that run. For some reason, yeah, she did. She actually did. How about we let Croaker die first, then Odie die second, without playing Thorn? Well, maybe that would work. Let's check that. Let's say, because we only need him to do the debuff on the boss, right? And we don't need anything else. So let's check if that works, and Odie will die afterwards. So here we go. We put Odie in that spot because the second one to die, actually, or the boss for him to choose, is Odie, because he goes from your left to your right first. So here we go. We get the buffs from Croaker. All of that, what we wanted is from Croaker to get the buffs, and that's it. He will die. The battle will not last that long, I guess, because Smokey also will die, because 3 times getting the units will not help us get the highest damages, but we will try as much as possible. Only we want from Smokey to do the cloud, yeah, and he did the cloud. And here we go, we're dealing that much of damage, and our OD is bye-bye. Okay, so we still have 40 seconds to deal even more damage. With that help, was our lineup good, or was it better with having Thorin as a tank? Now, I can't remove Cecilia. Cecilia is the most damage dealer in this lineup because of the debuffs of our Croaker. And she life steals a little bit, so, and she gains attack speed, which is great, and she has her own defense penetration, which is really nice. And we did a better lineup here, better score with having Vala and Cecilia and Odie instead of having Vala instead of Odie. So it's absolutely better to have the physical damages, but the survivability would help us a little bit more. As we see, Odie did a little bit of damage, Cecilia the most, and Vala then next. So physical damage and physical shred is a thing on your lineup, and having Marilee and Corin and Vala maybe better than having Cecilia and having Odie on this lineup when you have Croaker. So let's go and check. Without Croaker, who does the most damage? Okay, so we're gonna play Thorin as a tank, and there's no Croaker this time, and we're not gonna be depending on physical damage. We're gonna be depending on magical damage. So if we go and play somebody that amplifies magical damage, who is it? Aaron. I think Aaron is the one to amplify magical damage. He's his skill, which is summons, deals damage, enter immobilized zone. Aaron increases damage, not that one. Magical defense, I think this is the one. Haste and magic defense. Reduces the enemy's haste and magic defense. So we will check that, and we will check, does Aaron make OD deal even more damage? So our damages will be absolutely insane. Now don't forget that Smokey is magical defense as well, or he takes HP. So it's kind of pure damage. It's not magical defense. But let's check. Does Aaron work? Does he amplify the damages of our Smokey, of our OD? And we're gonna test that right now. So here we go. He did that, so magical defense is down, so OD is dealing a little bit more of damage. Now it's for a specific period of time and then it's get removed, but we're gonna do it more and more. So here we go. I don't know how long it lasts. I should read it. I didn't read it. So here we go. Aaron is maximizing the damage of our Smokey. Now we don't have the buffs of the Maulers, of course, because when we're playing Croaker, we have Smokey and OD, so we have the 14%. Here we have 0% buffs because we have no synergy at all. So we're gonna just check. How does it help us? Does OD is the one that deals the maximum damage? And yes, it is OD the one that deals more than, I think more than Cecilia, because there is no Croaker. And as you see, our damage went lower and lower so much, like there's a big difference. So depending on the synergies that you're playing is absolutely something to keep in mind, of course. So here we go. Who did the most damage? And it's OD. So Cecilia didn't do more than OD. It's the same lineup, but the difference is that we removed the physical damage. Now you're gonna tell me, how about if we played Coco instead of Croaker? The same, Cecilia will not do that much of damage, and the one that will be doing the most damage will be our OD. So with Coco, what damages we could do? Now we're gonna get the buff of the 3 Maulers, of course, and we're gonna get all the buffs that we want. And you can say that this lineup is a little bit better than not having another Mauler on the team. Maulers are really great when they play. Now we're saying Maulers because Smokey is a core for free-to-play on this lineup. OD is a core for free-to-play on this lineup. So we need another Mauler. Now if you play Croaker, your damages will be absolutely increased more and more because of the physical damage that Cecilia offers with her Golem, and the one with Thorin, and the one that comes from Croaker mainly. But with Coco, if you don't have, and you have survivability issues, playing her will give you the damage and will buff you. So the buffs will go to your entire team. This is why it will be even a little bit more helpful than playing Vala alone on the lineup, not playing her with Croaker. So let's go and check the damages here. I know this video is getting a little bit longer. I just want to show you all the lineups and all the teams that is available for us and what is the damages that you're gonna get from this lineup. And specifically having Croaker, Cecilia, Thorin on the lineup with OD and Smokey will get you the benefit, the most benefit, because you have the buff of the 14% as well because of having 3 Maulers and plus having 2 Graveborn, which is amazing. And you're capitalizing on the defense shred for the physical damage, which is offered by Cecilia and her Golem, Mr. Carlyle. Now here we go, as we see, we're getting the damages. It's not that bad, and Coco will buff us again, and now she will die. After she dies, we will continue dealing damage until the end of the battle, which is okay with us. Hopefully we're gonna get another buff from her before she dies, and we did. So here we go, and the boss takes her. And now we're gonna continue and shred the boss with Cecilia and with our OD. Now OD is our main damage dealer right now because we don't have the debuff on the boss from Croaker. If we have the debuff on the boss from Croaker, our biggest damage dealer is Cecilia and Mr. Carlyle until the end of the battle. And we did a better lineup because she buffed us really good, and we have the synergy of the Maulers in the battle. So the lineups depend on how synergies are work. So if you have no buffs, the 18% or the 14% on your lineup, that would be a little bit less. So let's go and do our final battle, and our final battle will put Croaker again, and I will show you. This is as we started the battle. Now we got the 14% by 14%. Of course, somebody told me, hey, remove Cecilia and play Shakir. Shakir is low ascension tier for me here, and he's at legendary. Plus, Shakir doesn't ramp up his damages. What happens is he ultimate and he gets to use his energy so he can get a little bit of defense buffs, and he gets lifesteal. He will not improve his attack right now. Now I think at Mythic, Shakir, reduces. Shakir casts Savage Cleave, reduces the target's vitality within 4 seconds, and that's it. He doesn't ramp up his attack or his damages. Maybe with his weapon, I didn't read it, I might be wrong. So, how about we want to play something else here? You can play Corin and you can play Marilee, and they are amazing, absolutely amazing, but you need Croaker on the team because they will ramp their damages more and more. Now you can remove Croaker from with playing them because they deal magic, true damage, and true damage is the most thing, but they still do physical damage. So having Croaker on the team for these unit that deals physical damage is absolutely insane. Now let's go and do the last fight before I end this video. This video took so long to do, but I just wanted to explain why people are telling me like, oh, Odie is insane here, but when we play Croaker, other units are doing more damage than him, so Odie is trash. Odie is not trash. Odie is the best damage dealer depending on the conditions of the fight. If you have a magic buffer, even Marilee can catch up to Odie. Even if you play whatever you want to play, nobody will catch up to his damage. Now, Dionel is a different unit that could do a little bit more damage here. I don't know, I didn't test him yet. I've seen some runs he was doing insane damage. But the thing is, with playing Croaker, every unit that deals physical damage will shine more and more than Odie, because Odie is mostly dependent on magical. Yes, he does a little bit of physical damage, but it's not counted at all. It will not make him shine that much. And as you see, always whenever we play Croaker, our damages ramp up and up because of the buff the debuff on the boss that lasts until the end of the battle, which is absolutely insane and very good and will help you accelerate your damages and get the highest scores more and more. With crit rate and crit damage, depending on your luck, you'll do even better. As you see, we didn't even get to our last score. And as you see, Cecilia did the most of the damage here. Why? Because of having this legend Croaker. And the highest damage that we did, I think, was 33.4. which will continue keeping us in the top 200, 100%, and with more levels and more ascension tiers on our units. And if we build other new units that have physical damage, we're gonna get to the 100, you're gonna get to the top 50. If you replace Odie with Marilee, 100%, if she's at Mythic Plus or at Supreme, if she's Mythic Plus, you're gonna get her to Supreme. Get her weapon to +5 at least. +10 will give her a massive buff. Of course, at +15, it's a lot of resources. I recommend do not do it immediately, especially if you're free to play. Keep them at +5, all of your units. That will help you a lot. At +10 for Odie and Marilee, that would help you even the most. +15 is a lot of investment that can hold you down on different units. So keep that in mind. Playing her instead of Odie here will help you a lot if you're having Croaker. Building up Croaker will make his damages go more and more. And yeah, that was it for the video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, I thank you for watching. And as always, stay frosty. Peace.